Good evening and welcome to Sema Ignited. We call this gathering the After Party, and this is where you get to see and hear four vintage dragsters from the 1960s light off and fill the air with great smelling nitro exhaust. I'm Joe Schuback, and I'm standing in front of a car I built back in 1964 and raced until 1965. That's 55 years ago. More on that later. But now, I'd like you to feast your eyes on the first car in our lineup. It's the beautiful 1966 Top Fuel entry of Tony Nancy, a car completely restored by John and Sally Ness from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tony Nancy, besides having one of the finest race car upholstery shops in the nation, was a very successful driver and won many championship events. In addition to winning in competition, he holds the record for the longest burnout on Hollywood Boulevard, as well as blowing out a record number of windows in the Forum shops at curbside. The windows were ultimately paid for by Bob Peterson, whose Hot Rod Magazine open house was being celebrated. Peterson asked Tony to open the program with this preposterous display of power and noise on Hollywood Boulevard. Thousands, including Hollywood stars and celebrities, watched in amazement. Now, we can't introduce Tony Nancy as he is no longer racing on this planet, but his best friend and stand-in driver, Harry Hibbler, is sitting in the seat and will fire up Tony's car only a few moments from now. Harry is a mild-mannered person and a SEMA Hall of Fame member, but back in his driving years, he earned the name Hand Grenade Harry because he always raced with everything on kill. My circle of racing existed in the Midwest, and I only knew what was going on in California by reading Drag News, a drag racing weekly that covered the entire country. That's where I read about Harry and his many horrific engine explosions and fires, and I wondered how this man survived from week to week. There were many that I read about, but I look forward to meeting Hibbler on my upcoming first trip to California because I thought maybe I could learn something from this man who was said to have nerves of steel. When I first made the switch from racing on gasoline to nitromethane, I had a lot of apprehension. I was concerned that adding about 15 times more horsepower than the engine was designed for was producing a hazardous condition for me sitting behind that blown Chrysler Hemi. It was like buzzing through the traps at 8,000 RPM, sitting on a bomb ready to explode. In the shutoff area, I often thought, how lucky I made it through another run. Sometimes I asked myself, how would Hibbler react? The answer came easy. I bumped up the nitro percentage another 10% for the next round. When we met, I discussed my anxieties, and I asked, Harry, do you ever get nervous when you're screaming through the lights with everything hanging out, wondering when that engine would blow right in your face? His answer I will never forget. No, he said, I have to tell you, I get my best feelings when I'm buzzing through the lights around 230 miles per hour, upside down and on fire. With that answer, Hand Grenade Harry became my new best friend. Okay, the crew is in place, and the next sound you'll hear will be from the Tony Nancy Dragster with Harry Hibbler at the controls.